The most hated player at your football club right now. Number 1, Arsenal. Now this one is very hard because this has to be the most liked Arsenal team of all time. There isn't a player that the fan base collectively hates compared to 5 years ago where everybody, and I mean everybody, was getting hate except for 2 players. But if I have to choose a player, I'm gonna choose a player that will surprise you. A player that right now is on top of his game. A player that should not be labeled as the most hated player at the organization. But that player is Gabriel Martinelli. Yes, I know. Boo, boo. Yeah, I know. But can anybody tell me a player that's hated more than Martinelli? 1 week, the Arsenal fan base loves Martinelli. They adore him. The next week, they hate him. They can't stand him. It's like he murdered their whole family. There isn't a player that gets more hate than Gabriel Martinelli in this team. It's Martinelli. 1 week, Martinelli is amazing. The next week, when he's trash, oh my god, the Arsenal fan base hates him. So for Arsenal, we're gonna say Martinelli. Now let's move on to Barcelona. Now at Barcelona, times have changed. At Barcelona, for years, the most hated player was Ter Stegen. Or shall I say, Terschladen, as Barcelona fans would call him. He was the sole owner of the hatred of Barcelona. They can't stand the man. But since now he's been replaced, somebody took over his reign. Somebody stole his chain as the most hated player in Barcelona. And that player is, ladies and gentlemen, give me that drum roll, Dani Olmo. Yes, Dani Olmo. Barca fans can't stand the man. They hate the man, especially since he missed that point-blank range against PSG. Matter of fact, the amount of times that this man has missed an open net is actually disgusting for Barcelona. So I understand the hatred towards him from Barcelona fans. I fully understand. If my player was doing that, I would hate on him too. But Barca fans have took it to a whole different level. Barca fans are now buying EAFC just to sell Dani Olmo out of Barcelona. So you're telling me that grown-ass men are buying a game worth $80 just to sell Dani Olmo off their team? That's elite level hating. That is Lionel Messi level hating. That is Cristiano Ronaldo level hating, and I respect it. Now let's move on to another football club, Chelsea Football Club. And here there's only really one person Chelsea fans hate right now. They can't stand the man. And that person, believe it or not, is not Garnacho. Chelsea fans actually are okay with Garnacho. They don't hate him. There's a player that they hate more than Garnacho. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to put your hands together for Gittins. Chelsea fans hate Gittins right now. The player they wasted 50 M's for. A guy that plays like he's Somalian. No disrespect to my people, but the brother plays like he's Somalian. All he does is dribble. No end product, no passing, just head down and dribble into a defender. Chelsea fans hate him so much that they would rather have a Mudryk, the guy that costs over 100 million, and his time at Chelsea consisted of him doing drugs and him trying to be black. They would rather have a Mykhailo Mudryk than Gittins. Also, they would rather have Jadon Sancho than Gittins. This brother has been so ass to the point where Chelsea fans are now saying that he is a threat to Chelsea, not to the opposition. Now, while Chelsea fans are hating on Gittins, they have made a massive mistake. They have made a disgusting mistake. Just look at this image right here. Madueke is 40 times. Matter of fact, 99 times the player Gittins is for Chelsea. I don't even know how a Chelsea fan can do such a thing. Imagine you are Madueke, right? You woke up in the morning, 4 a.m. You hit the gym. 6 a.m. you're eating your protein. 7 a.m. you're out on the field. You're training hard. And the first thing you do is log on to Twitter and you see this. You see this image. You know what I would do if I was Madueke? I would find out where this man lived and I would sue him to death. I would sue him for defamation. I don't care if this man is broke. I would literally take every penny this man has. That image is beyond disrespect. It is disgusting. It is defamation at its finest. Now let's move on to another football club, Manchester United. Now this one is pretty easy. This one is actually the most easiest one on this list. Manchester United fans collectively hate this man. If there's a Manchester United fan that has the jersey of this person, I will call the FBI on you. I will call the CIA on you. I will call a military service on you. And that person is Ugarte. I am warning you, if you have an Ugarte jersey, that is the same as being in Al-Qaeda. I will call the police services on you. Now as for why they hate Ugarte, I don't think I really need to explain why Manchester United fans hate Ugarte. I mean, the guy comes on every match, he fouls a lot, he misplaces a lot, he shoots from out of nowhere. I mean, it is more surprising if he makes successful passes than unsuccessful passes. At that point, if he has more successful passes in a game than unsuccessful passes, I will clap for him. So saying that, I don't think I need to explain why Manchester United fans hate this man. POV, Ugarte as a kid.
I would like to. I would like to be a terrorist.
Next up, Manchester City. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I actually don't know who they hate. One week it's Ruben Diaz, one week it's Matheus Nunes, and the next week it was Edison. I really don't know who Manchester City fans hate. But if there's one player the collective hates that I see online is Matheus Nunes. The amount of bozo moments this man has had last season is disgusting. The amount of times this man has lost Manchester City a game is beyond disgusting. I think this man has lost them a total of 10 points in the Premier League last season. 10 points was because of him. Now, to be fair to him, he is playing out of position because he is playing right back, and the person that's supposed to be playing right back is washed, which Kai Walker was gone, and Rico Lewis, who is also washed. Maybe, hold on. Maybe the most hated player at Manchester City might be Rico Lewis. Hold on. There's an academy tax there. You know, there's a homegrown talent tax there. So they're not gonna hate him as much as Matheus Nunes, who came from Portugal. Okay, they're gonna hate on a guy that came from Portugal rather than their own. So that's why Matheus Nunes is the most hated player at Manchester City. Now let's move on to Real Madrid. And ladies and gentlemen, for this one we have a tie. There is two players that are the most hated players at Real Madrid. David Alaba and Ferland Mendy. Congratulations to two of y'all, the most hated players at Real Madrid. Now the reasons are very simple. Both of them are straight cheeks. What else am I supposed to say? Ferland Mendy, he has attacking ability of a 3-year-old. I mean, I expect a 3-year-old to attack better than him. And David Alaba, he has a defensive ability of a 3-year-old. A 40-year-old man with 3 kids struggling to pay rent can take on David Alaba, and I expect him to beat him in a 1v1. I mean, that's why Real Madrid fans hate on David Alaba. David Alaba has cost them so many games, it is beyond disgusting. Last season, it was Vasquez, Alaba, and Mendy. They were going band for band, cash for cash on who can cost Real Madrid games. Next, Liverpool. Oh, this is gonna piss off a lot of Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans are gonna hate this one. They're gonna go straight to the dislike. But right now, the most hated player at Liverpool is Wirtz. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, y'all are hating on him. Every time I go on my timeline, I see Liverpool fans crying about him. I see Liverpool fans making Vigo AI. Look at the compilations I'm seeing with Wirtz x Vigo AI. That is Shaq and Kobe level.
Oh my god. Brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it.
I hop into a coffee shop and I hop into a coffee. So they tell me that you're looking for a girl.
Brand new bag for bro. Vaughn was rich. He had money.
I hop into.
This deadass has to be the worst era to be a professional athlete. It has to be the worst era of all time to be a professional athlete. 10 years ago, the only slander we saw of professional athletes were hairline jokes, and that's it basically. Hairline jokes and body shaming. Now we're doing Vigo AI twerking. Twerking. This is the worst era also for your name to be associated with Wirtz. If Wirtz is associated to you by any means, you are in shame right now. Wirtz is getting cooked on the timeline. Anyways, the reason why Liverpool fans are hating on Wirtz right now is because of the high expectations. They came into the season saying that this guy is going to become one of their best players. They thought that he would be their best player, that he would be second to Mo Salah, and so far, he has been their worst player by far. Chiesa, who is not even sniffing the pitch, is 20 times the player Wirtz is right now. So Wirtz needs to lock in, or Liverpool fans are going to start hating beyond hating. Anyways, the last team we have on this list is Tottenham, and the most hated player at Tottenham is Richarlison. Richarlison. I think I don't know. I really do not know who is the most hated player at Tottenham right now. I'm not even joking, bro. Like, any Tottenham fans in the comment section, please tell me who's your most hated player. Because I really do not know. I think you guys have a likable squad. I think maybe Richarlison is the most hated. Maybe I'm a rival fan because I hate Richarlison personally. But I really don't know who is the most hated player at Tottenham right now. Brennan Johnson? Maybe Brennan Johnson? Maybe Vicario? I really do not know who's the most hated player at Tottenham right now. But anyways, that's all I got. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in about 3 days or 4 days or 5 days. I don't know why I'm saying that. Goodbye.